Hello everyone, welcome to Eagle Wish. Today, we're going to dive into another home science practical. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. Let's get started. The aim of today's practical is to prepare beautiful samples using textile design techniques such as tie and dye. First, let's talk about the basic principles of tie and dye. This technique is all about creating patterns by tying or binding sections of fabric before dyeing it. Next, we'll explore different tie and dye methods, like knotting, marbling, binding, sewing, folding, and ruching. Each technique creates a unique pattern. We'll be explaining each one in detail. In knotting, fabric is tied tightly in knots, bunches, or gathers before dyeing. The tied areas resist the dye, creating patterns of white or undyed fabric around the knots. Don't forget to paste your samples into your practical file. As you can see on the screen, I've created some examples for you to refer to. In marbling technique, the fabric is laid flat on a surface, and a mixture of different colored dyes is poured or dipped into. The dyes are then swirled with a brush or other tool to create a marbled effect. Do you know in binding tie and dye technique, sections of fabric are bound with string, rubber bands, or other materials before dyeing? The bound areas resist the dye, creating patterns similar to knotting. In swaying technique, fabric is sewn together in specific patterns before dyeing. The sewn areas prevent the dye from penetrating, resulting in geometric patterns or lines. In folding, fabric is folded into specific shapes, such as triangles, squares, or rectangles, before dyeing. The folds create symmetrical patterns with sharp edges. In ruching, fabric is gathered or scrunched up before dyeing. The uneven gathers resist the dye, creating organic patterns and textures. Thanks for joining me today. See you in our next video.